Nuke Tech Methodology, Final Practicum, MUGA Study, ERNA. This is the grading rubric, all of the things that you have to go through in order to get your A. Now once you've logged into the computer, you're looking for the new Quest folder. It's NU Quest, right there. Pop that open. You're going to find New Quest again. Double click. Open that bad boy up, give it a second. Still in the loading. So once it's done loading, you will click on Study to open. And in the drop down box here, you want to go down to ADQ. Click on the folder DSty. Open it up. For the exam, we're doing a MUGA with an aneurysm on the left ventricle. And that is going to be file 180. So in this list, you'll scroll down. You'll see 180.FEY. Okay, so that's the study that you'll click. You'll open it. If you see this image, somebody has already saved a protocol. They were not supposed to do that. So don't flip out. What you want to do is you go to Protocols, click Ejection Fraction. Your screen will pull up like normal. Okay, so for your final, if she makes you verbally walk through it, you never change your sector. Okay, that's not for you. You never change your quantity. Your quant, that's just going to be the number of frames. Okay, it's 16 to 32, but we want 16. Your spatial smoothing and your temporal smoothing should be from 0 to 2. So if you come in and it's anything outside of 0 to 2, you need to change that or you'll get counted off. Okay, your regions should be set at 8 by default. If you come in and it's something funky like 86, you should fix that or you'll get points off. Okay, so once you've checked everything in that box, you're going to hit calculate and it's going to say, do you want to delete that last processing? Yes. You don't want to turn in some schmuck stuff. So click yes. And here you see it gives you a fresh study. Now this is going to be strictly by preference. I prefer the neat B, but this is the list of things that you can set it on to change your coloration. Again, I prefer neat B, the very last one at the bottom. The software is kind of janky, doesn't always work, but if you go to the color box, this M in the middle means that whatever you currently have selected, whichever box currently has that blue header, means that's what's selected. That's my current selection. If there is an M in my color block, then that's the only thing that should be affected when I change my colors and my contrast and my brightness. Okay, so as I'm lowering this down, you'll see what's happening to the heart there. I like 165 to 175. Okay, the only thing on your brightness here is that you want to be able to clearly see and define the ventricles from one another. And I find that that occurs between 165 and 175. You still want it pretty bright to be sure that you're getting everything in. So for this, I'm going to probably settle at about 170. So between 165, no lower than 165, you'll lose that ventricle separation. Okay? Now to make this really big, and you want to do this, do not try and do your ROIs on this size. Go down to your keyboard, filthy little keyboard. This is your down button. Watch what happens. Changes size. Okay? The bigger you get it, the easier it's going to be to correctly do your ROI. The pixels make it very easy to see what you're doing. So right now, if you look in that yellow box, notice that it says draw background ROI. So whatever you first pop up, do not start drawing on your left ventricle. Don't do it. Everybody did that in practice today. It's no bueno. You're gonna come down here to the bottom. Be sure that you're not clicking in any pink boxes. And it's banana shaped, but it's whatever. Really, just draw a box down here. When you're done and you're happy with your box, you right click. It asks if I'm okay. Before I click yes, I want to come over here. And it says background, 61 counts. You want to keep that under 65. Okay? If it's above 65, you've got too much activity. Redraw it. Okay? Below 65, keep it nice and cold. So we're happy with it. We're at 61. We're going to click yes. Okay? And that's going to set us up for the gradient, which is the pre-made ellipse here. Again, first thing we want to do is resize. Okay, and then we want to adjust the brightness. It says that it didn't change the brightness, but y'all, this is not as hot as it was a second ago. It's just not. It's a lie. Okay, so readjust your brightness again. Okay, that's at about 109. Super bright, but I can still see the septa there. So now I'm gonna play with this. Okay, so I have adjusted the gradient here, the circle, and what I found easiest was to make the gradient just entirely too large. All right, it made it easier for me to adjust during the hand editing. Okay, so that's what I left it at. So once I'm happy with this, I'm going to right click again. It finalizes the line there, right? Awesome. We're not satisfied with this. We don't want to leave it at that. So we come up, edit ROIs by hand, enter the number here. So this is going to be the first image. Okay, you can do either 0 to 15 on this, and it'll tell you exactly which one in this box here that we're going to be working on. Okay, so we're going to select by hand. We're going to impact 0, takes us back to this tiny frame. Very first thing always is to resize. Very first thing, hit that down button, get it nice and chunky so you can't screw this up. So once we've done this, hit my Alt button. You hold down the Alt, either one, left or right, doesn't matter. And then you click with your left mouse button. Pulls up this window. You can drag it around. Stop window. I'm dragging you around. Alright, now to make this work, so if you see, I've got a little bit of blue here. That's a little lighter. We could probably suck this in over here. So I'm going to try, let's try our side view. So you're going to highlight it, click and hold down on it to make it actually adjust. See how I'm doing that? You're going to drag your mouse to the left or right. Okay, however far I want, however in I want, whatever, make it pretty. Bam. Okay, so there's not a ton of adjustments that I want to do here, simply because the editing software is a little outdated. It will not apply to all of the images, okay? So we're happy with this. We feel good about it. Resize, pardon me guys. We're pretty okay with it. We feel pretty good about it. It's not going to get perfect. If you try and stay and make this perfect, you will totally blow your 22 minutes. So just whatever. If you want to apply your changes to all 16 frames, you click on the series. See that little check mark that just got there? Sub check mark. What this is supposed to do is apply the changes that I just made to all 16 frames. I'm on a janky computer, and that does not work. It does work on some other computers. Nobody else is having the issue, just me, so it's fine. Click confirm. Okay, so what I should be able to do now, see this bad boy? Hey, we need to first put it in neat. Okay, adjust your brightness. Okay, remember we liked it at about 165, 175, somewhere in there. Adjust our size so that we can see everything nice and clearly. I'm going to spin this camera. Don't get sick. It's fine. So adjust your brightness again. So if you've drawn this and you're like, oh my Jesus, if you check that out, okay, those circles don't fit that very well. It's not very pretty, right? Adjust your brightness, make it brighter, and it'll fill out some of those boxes. You can't adjust and delete your septa. You have to still have a clear septa. So don't make it too bright, but you can brighten it up, make it look a little bit better. Because again, on my software, the changes won't cross over to all of them because it's ghetto. But once you're happy with the brightness, now you can go in to each and every one. Okay, there's some slight areas that you can correct, but again, you've only got 22 minutes and you have 2 other studies to process, okay? So you cannot spend all day being anal retentive and perfect. Remember, in clinic, you're going to have much better software. You're not going to have these issues. You're going to get your ROIs and you're going to move on with your life. For grading purposes, just for today, this one appears to be my very worst frame. I'm missing a good chunk off here off the tail. So adjust the size so that I can count. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6, right? So it's the 6th image that I want to change. However, remember our images start from 0 and they go to 15. So if I want to change the 6th image, I'm actually going to input the 5th frame. Okay? So the way that I do that, I go over back to the yellow box, sup yellow box, edit ROI by hand. Hey, that little box there, we're going to put in a 5. Bam. Okay, and it has pulled me up. Very first thing, readjust the size. Very first. Okay. Now we're going to Alt and click and get our box back up, right? So we want to capture this little tail here. So grab and hold, move your mouse up and down to capture that tail. Now we've picked up some blue here. We definitely don't want the blue. So click on this oblique and suck it in from there. Again, you're not looking for perfection. We don't have time for that. Make whatever minor changes you want to make. Okay, we do not want to do series for this. So as a reminder, we just wanted to adjust this specific frame. We are not going to click series. See that? No check mark? No check mark. Check mark is bad now. Confirm it. It should change just that one frame. Now double check what we're doing. Go back through all of your frames. Make sure that you're reasonably happy. Again, try not to shoot for perfection. You'll blow your 22 minutes. Once you're happy with these frames, we're ready to document. Okay, document right here. And this is going to pull your final report. Okay, so delete from your mind what I just said about hitting document. I forgot a very important step. On your grading rubric, the last couple of steps are regarding your cine. Okay, so your cine is your moving one, right? So your moving one has been hanging out up here in the background. See it's beating? Cine, movement? Yeah, that's the one. You're going to select it, make sure the top bar is blue there, right? We've clicked on it, that's our active one. We need to do 2 things. We need to make it big. The down arrow does not work for this. You have to go and you have to hit the zoom button. Okay, so zoomy.
Oh. What?
Okay.
Okay, but I'm like, oh my god.
We made it big. Awesome.
Okay.
And now we need to adjust the rate, which is here. The 60 is your default, 60 beats a minute. Ms. Vicky adjusted ours to 24, so slowed it way down. So you're gonna put it down to 24, nice and slow. Look at how slow that is. Somebody's dying. Okay, but not our problem. Now we've done everything on the grading rubric, and we can come over and we can hit document. And this creates the final report with your ejection fraction, 26%. Each of these, remember how we had 8 segments that we cut our ventricle into? That's where you can see those segments. Your time activity curves up there. Yeah, Butamus. This is what you're gonna turn in. Good job, high five. That's your MUGA.